our usual guidelines. But before we do, please drop in the comments where you are watching or viewing from. That way we both know and we can answer any questions that we see in the comment section. Please be respectful as we engage in this conversation and learn more about Blacked Out Game from Dominique. And then last but not least, like, follow, and share about Doing the Most Media, as we are doing what we do for the culture and for the cause, connecting people and small businesses. All right, without further ado, thank you for joining us, Dominique.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're most welcome. So I just want to throw out there that you are a model, trainer, and creator of Blacked Out Game. But before we get into all of that or any of that, will you please tell us all just a little bit about yourself?
All right. My name is Dominique. I was born and raised in Worcester, Massachusetts. Went to Holy Name, played football, basketball there. Then graduated, went to Assumption for 2 years, played football, basketball there. And then I transferred to UMass Amherst and played football there. And then obviously I graduated with a business economics degree. And then I didn't want to stay in Worcester much longer, so I was just booked a one-way flight to Los Angeles, and I've been there for the past 9 years. Pandemic hit, and it brought me right back to Worcester, Mass.
Wow, full circle for sure.
Yeah.
So let's jump into Blacked Out Game. I would say the Blacked Out Game. So let's jump into Blacked Out Game. It seems like the game got created kind of at the intersection of the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement. There was a whole lot going on when you came up with this. Will you tell us a little bit about your process and how you came to this idea?
Yeah, like you said, it was created. It was created around June, right before, like, kind of like the week of the June. It might have been like a couple days after June 19th, and I was visiting. I was living in LA at the time, but I was visiting the family in Worcester. And we were Friday night playing card games with the little cousins and my grandmother and my aunts and stuff. And then I don't know, I had a couple drinks in me, went home, started watching Shark Tank, and then I was like, man, uh, I should I should create a card game that would be fun because I was beating my little cousins at Uno and all those other games. So I was like, let me create something that'll be fun. And then that's where like the idea came to me. But it was just going to be blacked out history. So it was going to be like a learning game, just a complete learning game. And then I went back to LA like a week later and played another game that was fun, but it had different categories. And I was like, let me turn this into instead of just a learning game, let's turn it into a fun learning game. And that's where the blacked out game part came in.
Okay, so it was an evolution process. I like that because, I mean, who doesn't like having fun and education happen at the exact same time? I mean, nobody wants to be like bored to death when they're learning, but if you can have a little bit of fun, it seems like the information stick a lot better and a lot longer too.
Yeah, yep. So that's where it all came to hand, and then obviously I just got a bunch of flashcards, wrote it on marker piece of paper, and then started playing with my friends. Then played with my family. Everyone loved the game, and they're like, "You need to create this." And then I contacted somebody in China, and they were able to make it happen.
Oh yeah, you know you got something good when family co-signs, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So about how long process-wise? So from the time you came up with the idea and it became conceived in your mind to the time it was like ready to go and on shelves, about how long did that process take you?
Uh, Let me see. To come up with all the cards and the idea itself probably took like a week or two. So I was done with all that by the beginning of July. And then the hardest part was obviously with the pandemic was getting the cards from China to the US. So that was a month because we kept going back and forth about what size the box would be, what color the cards would be, and all that type of stuff. And then to get it shipped on a boat, it probably took another 2 or 3 months. So I didn't get the game till like October.
Okay, so it was quite a process. I can only imagine how like anxious you were to get a hold of it and have it like in your hands and the physical product for sure. So what kept you motivated during this time? All this waiting, the going back and forth with the company, what kept you going?
Uh I would just like honestly, I would like I was the only one with the game. So I would just go and I would meet new people that were because I was living in a big apartment building and we were just inviting people over to the house, and more people were playing the game, and more people were excited for it. So I was like this game is gonna blow up. Like, so that's what really kept me going, and it just kept me motivated, was the fact that like people I didn't know, people who had no like excuse to lie to me, and then like I had family like, yo, I'll pay you such and such this money to like be invested in it. So it was just like I had ideas before, but people weren't supporting me like this before. So I was like, all right, I do have a good idea on my hands.
So I created your own wave. It would sound like to me like you created your own wave by meeting with people and introducing them to your game and making sure you kept putting it out there.
Yep.
And
So
that's a beautiful process too.
yeah, so that's exactly what happened. It was just people around me who were just really supportive. So I was like, man, yeah. Then when the game finally came, I was like, oh, it's my baby.
All right. So let me ask you this. If you had to explain to somebody who had never maybe stumbled across your Instagram page for the Blackout game, if you had they never maybe heard a friend talk about it, how would you maybe explain this game to them?
I explain it. It's an adult card game that celebrates Black history and Black culture, and it brings your family friends together to learn and just have fun. It is for adults, so but if you don't know nothing, you will learn something. If you think you know something, you might not know.
Well, I like that. If you think you know something, because there's a lot of think you know something people here in this world. I think I know something, but I'm pretty sure there's at least a few cards in the
Huh,
deck, if not more, that are going to stump me and even the brainiacs who know it all or
for
most of it.
sure, for sure. And the good thing is, playing the game, you're playing it with other different cultures or people from different. Like I played it with like Black people. I played it from New York, so they might have a different way of. They obviously have a different life than I would have, a different culture on how to say different slangs, or they might not know a song that I know.
Okay, so this game is kind of similar to Uno in the fact that you can kind of make it your own. You can kind of
Yep.
vary it up some. I like that too. That's pretty unique because
Yeah.
if you can make it fit where you're from, that makes it all the more better for the experience for whoever you're with. And it also makes it a challenge if you're like, for example, from New York playing with somebody from maybe Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the fun part about it. Obviously, playing football in college, I met people from all over the world, and their slang was way completely different than the slang I grew up with. So I try to get as many words from all over the world, and then obviously I try to get songs from all over the world.
So very inclusive it sounds as well.
Yep,
A little bit of something for everything, or a
exactly.
little bit of everything for
That's something.
everyone.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, what have you seen as an impact so far on the community that it was intended to impact? Like, have you seen any impact or heard any maybe feedback that really kind of sticks out or anything like that?
It was just more so, especially with the pandemic, that it brought family and friends together. Obviously, we can't go out and do this and this anymore, but the fact that we're losing communication and we're not staying in touch with people. So that's probably the biggest thing is it gives people a chance to come together and enjoys people company and not just be on their phones all day.
You make a good point there. So many of us live with our faces kind of right down in that cell phone. So,
Uh,
it's a good chance to get some FaceTime and
yep.
increase that communication that we don't usually get.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably just the biggest thing is people are just able to get together with family and friends and just have fun.
All right. I mean, who doesn't like that? I mean, I've had lots of people give feedback just leading up to it and be like, I can't wait to get a hold of this. Can't wait to get with my family and play this
Uh,
game. So I'm sure there's gonna be some people who are purchasing and probably giving you some more video feedback of what they've been up to.
Yeah, I always tell them. I write a personal note. I was like, hey, just send me some feedback because this is just the first game, and I still this is still a trial to me. I'm still learning, so this is not the finished game yet.
Okay. That's good to know. I guess maybe let's jump ahead just a little bit. You know, this is not the finished game. Is there anything that is coming down the pike or in store, like a variation or anything like that coming?
Yeah, right now I'm actually trying to work on a game that includes every culture. So that would be white, Latino, and black, and that would all be one game. And then from that game, if they want an expansion pack, if they just want the black ones, they can buy the black ones attached. They just want the Latino ones, they can buy it. But I just want to create a game that's all inclusive and it's learning on all cultures and getting rid of the color fact of everything and just being together, learning people's culture and learning the way they live.
I mean, you're definitely. This is definitely a game that can, be multifaceted and kind of close that divide that has kind of been
Mhm.
created. And sometimes it's long held on to. The long story short is, it's nice when people can come together. And if a game can do that, I mean, more power to us.
Exactly. Yep. So that's the goal. So I'm working on that right now. I'm in a little entrepreneur program in Worcester called E for All. So I take a couple classes a week, and then I have mentors. So right now, I have a lawyer, and I'm just working on my new name for whatever the game's gonna be too.
Okay, so a lot of creative process there.
Yeah. So I got to get back in the drawing board. Like I already know how the game is gonna be from the feedback that I got from this game. So now it's just I wanted to create a game that has like the full name. So now when I go and make the expansion packs, because I want like sports culture, I want like LBGT, I want everything. Like, but the culture's so big that there's so many cultures for everything. I could make a game from Worcester culture or New York culture. So it's just like, yeah. So I just want like one big game and then other expansion packs under it.
Definitely, I can see this being like Monopoly. There's a version for everyone and everybody. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
And
what
not everybody takes that time to kind of take that thought process and plan for all. That's great.
exactly. Yeah. So that's the plan right now.
Nice. Would you say, like, I heard you say earlier it's an adult game. What
Go.
would maybe be the target age range? Let me ask that.
18. Like you can play with like I've played with my little cousins. It's just more so I got to take out some of like the sex cards, and that will be in the truth mostly. There's a few truth questions that hey, when was the last time you had sex or blah blah blah, the worst and best experience. But if you were able just to go through those type of the truth or dance questions and take a few of them out, it can become a kid's game.
That's a good thing to know, because at the end of the day, I'm sure there are some younger family members who aren't quite 18, but are at least mature enough to play the game still. So if you can
Yeah, yeah.
modify it, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And like people hit me up like, oh, like I can't wait to play this game to play with my kids and stuff. I was like, hold up, this is an adult game, so you do have to make sure you go through a few of these cards because obviously the history is good. Uh, the rapid fire has a few sex questions. Truth or dance is probably the biggest thing, and then slang. The kids are already saying every single word, so just like even though you might not want them to say it, they're already saying it. So
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure. I'm sure there's some parents out there like, hey, earmuffs, earmuffs.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I give them a warning that it is a adult. It is an adult game.
Okay. So we've talked a bit about the passion. Well, no, let me go back to that. I don't think that we did talk about the passion. What made you most passionate about creating this game for, I guess I want to say, for the culture and for the cause, honestly?
Uh, like for me, like I grew up in like the all white high school, so I went to all white colleges, and it like history, Black history was never taught, and it was just mostly like I just remember putting my head down. It's like oh slavery again, or Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, and it was just like something that's so little as like June 19th. Like I knew about it, but I never paid any attention. I feel like until this year, and I feel like the world didn't pay any attention until this year. And I feel like as I've been learning the past couple of years that like Black history is American history. So it's just like to be completely forgotten or not enough celebrated. I was like, it's time that I learn my history and I could hopefully teach someone else.
You make a good point about the predominantly white institutions, because then therefore there's that information. It's also predominantly white information.
Yeah,
So present multiple perspectives is really, really important, especially now when young people are coming up and need that perspective. Because like you said, if we don't get it, how do we pass it along? How do we kind of make sure the generations
and then
after us know it?
and I apologize for this person. Obviously, I was on reality TV, so I have this. one hacker that just won't leave me alone, and it's been over a year, every day for a
Let's
year.
acknowledge it because I see it too. The long story short is somebody's busy. They're working real hard.
Yeah. Somebody's working real hard. Whoever this is, I love him. Love him, her, whoever it is. So it's whatever.
Definitely, they're showing you some attention. Attention is attention.
Attention's attention. So, uh, hey, there's plenty of other things to do in life right now. There's a pandemic going on, so to be worried about me for over a year is kind of silly. But hey, to each his own.
At the end of the day, we just got to move on. Let's do that.
Like,
So, what is one major lesson that being an entrepreneur has taught you? Something that you kind of is like your takeaway, maybe your gem that you carry in your pocket when you do what you do every morning when you wake up.
uh it's just for me. It's like building. Like I don't have any kids, but just to build a legacy that I could give on to my kid and give on to my family. And like they never taught us that. Like they taught us to work just 9 to 5 and just slave our life away. And it's just like, no, it's not meant to be that. Like we're meant to live life and create things. And shoot, all the history, black people invented everything, but they didn't really get credit for it. So it's just like someone stole their idea and made it theirs. So I just
And
want
then
to
money to make movies about it.
exactly. So it's just like, man, I want to be remembered for creating something that made an impact and change, and I gave back to my family and my community.
It's always great to be able to give back. I love a give back for sure. So let me ask, what is something you do at the end of the day when all of the work is done, when you've put in all of the hours that you can, sent all the emails and done all the extra and ignored all the hackers and the hecklers in the crowd. When you've done that, what do you do to take care of yourself in the downtime that you have so that you can continue to do what you do?
The gym. The gym is like my therapy. I go there every day. That's where if I'm having a good day, or if I'm having a bad day, that's where I go to just clear my head and just be myself and just get out of it. Put my music on, put my headphones on, and just zone out. I just left the gym right now, so that's probably what I love to do. And I'll travel. Before, obviously, growing up in Worcester, I never traveled. I moved to LA, and I was traveling every month, and that just made a more awareness of life just being so beautiful. The world's a beautiful place. There's plenty of beautiful people. So traveling in the gym is my what I love to do.
Hey, self care, no matter how we get that. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
So we are a community of culture here at Doing the Most Media. Our goal is to make sure that we give a platform to small businesses, and we definitely want to center Black-owned businesses as well. And with the PPP loans, we know that there's discrimination in banking practices, but that's why we talk about the passion, purpose, and plan here so that we can continue to be supportive of each other. Please share with us your social media handles so that we can follow and make sure to support and continue to support and the website.
Yeah, for sure. My social media handles is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It's all at D Prices Right. That is D Price S Right. And then the website to get the game is www.blackedoutgame.com. And then Instagram is Blacked Out Game, and TikTok is Blacked Out Game. And then I'm still working on the other ones. Facebook's too. Facebook is Blacked Out Game too as well.
Okay. When they get the game, definitely be sure to play it and get some video action of
Yeah.
that. The game is awesomely hilarious and a good time with family, at least from what I've seen and been able to experience. Um, do you have anything else that you would like for the audience to know or hear about from you directly?
Uh, I'm trying to think. Obviously, yeah, if you do have the game, make sure you give me feedback. I am trying to get as much feedback as I can to make the next game as best as possible. And then I do have a Kickstarter going right now, um, and that is for to get obviously to pay for my lawyer and to pay for the next game coming up.
Okay. I will definitely include that information down and underneath the video. Anybody who's watching and wants to make sure to click those links, we'll just make it super easy. And you can get straight to the website to buy the game or to be of support by liking, following, sharing, and all that good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you
Appreciate it.
so much for your time and coming on and sharing with us about the Blacked Out game.
No, I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, everyone who tuned in, and we will see you all on Wednesday this week. Have a good